It's a wonderful Wednesday here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, the Hollywood Theater, where the final press conference just wrapped up for this Mayweather versus Maidana rematch. Both Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Marcos Maidana expecting a victory on Saturday night, but let's go ahead and hear what they have to say about how it will come at the MGM Grand.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you all for coming out to our press conference, Mayhem, Mayweather versus Maidana. We all saw the first fight. We're really expecting a very, very exciting fight with a rematch. Both guys are coming in with a tremendous amount of confidence. Both guys had a phenomenal training camp. Maidana, he's coming into this fight with a tremendous win off of Adrian Bronner, and with having been in there with Floyd for 12 grueling rounds, he's coming in this fight, and he really believes that he's going to win. On the other hand, Floyd's coming in this fight knowing that he dominated the fight, and there were a lot of tactics that were going on in the fight. But here we are for the rematch, Mayweather versus Maidana. They'll be fighting in a 12-round unified welterweight championship. We have a tremendous undercard. Opening the undercard, we have Alfredo Angulu. He'll be fighting James De La Rosa in a 10-round middleweight matchup. In our second fight, we'll have Miguel Vasquez. He'll be defending his 135 IBF lightweight world championship. He'll be going against Mayweather Promotions' own Mickey Bay. In the co-main, we'll have Leo Santa Cruz. He'll be defending his WBC super bantamweight title, and he'll be fighting Manuel Roman in a 12-round fight. And then we obviously come to the main event, where we all have been waiting for. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our co-promoter, Eric Gomez.
We're happy to be here, obviously, in a big stage once again in Las Vegas, working hand in hand with Mayweather Promotions. It's been great, this entire promotion. Thanks to everybody involved. Leonard does a great job. He's got a great team behind him. We have a great team at Golden Boy Promotions. On behalf of Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, we're happy to be participating in this big event. So I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank the sponsors involved, Corona, O'Reilly's, Mexican Tourism, Phantom Presents, and obviously Showtime, Steven Espinoza. Thank you very much, Steven. Week in and week out, Showtime's bringing the best fights in boxing, no doubt about that. And obviously the MGM, any big fight, there's no bigger stage than the MGM. Richard Stern, thank you very much. And thank you all for being here.
We're thrilled to be back here at MGM Grand again. This has become Showtime's really home away from home. This is the 4th event that Showtime is televising from MGM Grand this year, the most of any venue, the 6th over the last 2 years. And it really feels as much a part of home as New York City does to me personally. The MGM Grand is a first-class venue, first-class people. It's always a pleasure to come here. And we thank Richard Sturm and all the MGM staff for their hospitality. It's really no wonder that this will be the 10th consecutive time that Floyd has fought at MGM Grand. You know, coming to the MGM Grand is really just one part of Showtime's strategy of televising the biggest and most important fights in the sport of boxing. And there's no doubt that this Saturday, Mayweather Maidana 2 will be one of those big, important fights, most likely the biggest fight of the year. No matter what the result is, what I do guarantee is it's going to be historic. Historic because what we're watching is unprecedented. We all know about Floyd's success, his undefeated record, his world titles, you know, his Fighter of the Year awards. But consider this. Floyd Mayweather has been ranked in the top 10 by Ring Magazine for consecutively and continuously since March of 1998. It's in the top 10 for 16 years. That is unprecedented in any other sport. That's not to mention a lot of those years that he was consensus #1 pound for pound. But to be candid, Marcos Maidana couldn't care less. Way back in May was perhaps the toughest fight of Floyd's career. There's 12 grueling, hard-fought rounds. And then Floyd surprised many of us by saying, let's do it again. Another fight against the opponent with the highest knockout percentage of anyone he's ever fought. One of the highest knockout percentages of active welterweights right now. Personally, I can't wait. As a reminder, the pay-per-view telecast will start at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's 1 hour earlier. An hour before that at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. You can tune to Showtime for Countdown Live, which will feature a live fight, John Molina Jr. versus Humberto Soto, which is guaranteed to be thrilling. To get ready for all of that, this evening, 7:30 Eastern Pacific, All Access Episode 3 premieres. Replays on Showtime, Showtime Anytime, and CBS Sports Network as well. And then, of course, on Friday, the weigh-in at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. That'll be followed by All Access Live, where we will face off Marcos Maidana and Floyd Mayweather live less than 24 hours before the event. We'll see you on Saturday night.
Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you all for being here. You know, all games aside, we're ready for this fight. We prepare ourselves like never before. We know the fight's not an easy fight, but it's not impossible either. I'm sure Floyd had a great training camp. He always does. We are very grateful to be here. We want to thank Golden Boy Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, Showtime, MGM, everybody for having us here. We're going to give what the fans are waiting for. What the fans want to see, that's what they're going to get Saturday night. Thank you.
Floyd didn't have to do this fight. He had a very tough fight the first fight. Yes, he won the fight. People said it was close. Marcos gave him a hell of a fight. Probably one of the closest fights Floyd has had in the last couple of years. But that's what makes a great fighter. That's why Floyd is so great. Because he does things that people don't expect him to do in boxing. I know that everybody here, Floyd has proven wrong, at least one time. Everybody. I mean, he's been proving me wrong ever since he fought Oscar. Every single fight I've thought to myself, okay, this time we got him. Nope. This time we got him. Nope. But that's what makes him great. And everybody sitting here, I'm sure that all of you have criticized him at one point or another. You've said, oh, he's not going to get past this guy. He's not going to get past Ricky Hatton. Canelo's going to get him. Victor Ortiz is going to get him. Anyway, he's proven everybody wrong. But there's one critic that Floyd hasn't been able to prove wrong. There's one guy, there's one critic that keeps him going, and that's Floyd himself. He's probably the hardest critic, and that's why he took this rematch, because he felt that the first fight was close, and he wants to prove to everybody, but most importantly to himself, that he won that first fight and that he could do it again. But I know also at the same time that I have a hungry fighter here to my left that felt that he was very, very close, a step away from beating Floyd Mayweather. And he's here to prove that whatever it takes, whatever he left behind, whatever that little inch he needs more to beat Floyd, he's gonna do it this time. So I wanna bring up to the podium, you guys know him as El Chino. I wanna bring up Marcos El Chino Maidana. Marcos.
Hola. Bueno, me pongo tan nervioso que ya no sé ni qué decir.
I'm a little nervous, I don't know what to say anymore.
Bueno, primero y principal quiero agradecer a mi equipo,
First of all, I want to thank my team,
a Jaimon, a Golden Boy, a Sebastián Contursi, que ha hecho un gran trabajo para obtener esta nueva oportunidad.
Al Heyman. I want to thank Golden Boy, Sebastian Cortusi for everything you do, for getting me this great opportunity.
todo el periodismo argentino que está presente. Y bueno, esta vez vengo muy bien preparado, vengo a hacer historia.
And I also want to thank all the press, all the Argentinian press that came all the way over for this fight, and what can I say? I'm ready. I'm ready to make history.
También quiero agradecer a Gustavo Arce de Agustino que me ha vestido. La verdad que muy contento por la ropa que me ha... Gustavo Arce.
Gustavo Arce, he wants to thank him. He's been dressing him and he got him this beautiful outfit.
Bueno, muchas gracias.
Well, and that's it. Thank you very much.
You know, he's often become the guy who wears the target on his back. You know, no matter what he says, no matter what he does, you know, people form an opinion. You know, they tend to take things out of context. But it just comes with the territory. When you're on top and you've been on top for so many years, people are gunning at you. And the least little thing you say or do, no matter how you feel, things get taken out of context. This guy's had a phenomenal career. You know, he's beat everybody we put in front of him. He's been the best fighter in the world. He's been world champion ever since 1998 when he defeated Hernandez in a wonderful, wonderful fight. He's went on to be the number of world champions, and he still tends to this day get criticized for his work inside the ring, which is mind-boggling. But in my eyes, he will go down as the best ever to do it. And no matter what anyone says, you know, he can only fight and beat the fighters in his era. If we could go back in a time warps, you know, we can make these mythical matchups and compare him to all the other fighters of the past. All the other fighters have laid the groundwork over the years to put him in a position to be thankful for the position that he's in, and he's been beyond blessed for the position that he's been that's been bestowed of him. He takes his job extremely, extremely serious. A guy that's made several $100 million, and money doesn't motivate him because he's able to get up in, you know, in the wee hours of the morning in his 1,000 square foot mansion, and oftentimes you see him out there putting in the road work like he's never earned a dime. You know, that's just because his dedication and his commitment to the sport. And I can't say enough, we all will miss this young man when he finally hangs up this glove. So all this hating and criticism about this and that, you guys need to stop. Just cut it out. Just acknowledge the fact that he's a great fighter. He has opinions. He's human just like anybody else. And when he goes in there in that ring, he gives it your all. He's went in there and he's dominated guys who we all have considered as A-level fighters, B-level fighters. And he makes these guys look all the same. You know, Maidana, he's a tremendous, tremendous fighter. You know, he's been an underdog for a number of years, you know, and Floyd is readily, openly taking on the challenge. The fans demanded the rematch, and Floyd said, no problem, let's do it, put him in there. He didn't cry, he didn't complain and say, oh, how about this other guy? He said, put his ass right back in there, and if the fans didn't think that I got it done right the first time, oh, I'll show him the next time. And my goal is plan on stopping him this time. You know, so there will be no questions left unanswered about the Mayweather-Maidana rematch. So without further ado, I'd like to call up the 11-time world champion in 5 different weight classes, the highest paid athlete in the world, who's put boxing on his back. And I'd like to touch on something else, is that the reason why a lot of times that, in my opinion, that boxing hasn't crossed over into the mainstream sport, mainstream world as a whole, is because we're too hard, and you know, we're always trying to find ways to denigrate, to down, and criticize people's accomplishments. And a lot of times it's done from people who never even had boxed before and don't know what it is to be in his shoes. You know, I can't say enough. When you've been at the top for so many years, and you look at not just in boxing, in sports in general, what other athletes you can say that has been dominated everybody that's been put in front of him for all these years, but yet we still find ways to, try to bring him down. And these are the reasons why boxing isn't like the NBA, the NFL, and any other major sport, because we're always looking for reasons to, tear down our own. The impact that he's had on the sport of boxing, a lot of times you guys don't, comment on it. But I guarantee you, when you look at some of the lesser known fighters who are making a substantial more amount of money that they have been since Floyd has put the sport on his back, he's demanded and educated the fighters on that no longer will the promoters and the managers be able to take advantage of the fighters. The fighters deserve to be put in a position where they earn the lion's shares of money, and with educating the fighters, then he also becomes the bad guy. So I'm just saying all these kind of things to, once again, I touched on it on the last fight, that we must find a way to acknowledge greatness when we see it, because when you look around, there will be no another fighter like the man that's sitting to my right. There will be no other fighter like him. There were other great fighters before him who did what they did and had phenomenal careers and went on to set phenomenal records. But the whole complete package, you will never see this done before. So without further ado, I'd like everybody to put their hands together for none other than Floyd Money Mayweather.
Thank you, Leonard. I appreciate it. First off, I want to thank God, because without God, all this wouldn't be possible. I want to thank my team, thank my staff, and of course, thank my trainers. They've done a remarkable job. We had a remarkable training camp. What else can I say? Truly unbelievable. It's about hard work, dedication, prayers, and belief in a good team. And the first time out, me and Maidana gave the people excitement. That's what they want to see. It's all about blood, sweat, and tears. MGM Grand, there's no hotel like the MGM Grand. You guys have been truly unbelievable. To have an 18-year relationship with you guys, I couldn't ask for a better relationship. Al Heyman, of course, the one and only. Very shrewd businessman, one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. Richard Stern, I want to thank you. I want to thank your staff. I want to thank your team. Steven Espinoza, of course, it's always showtime. The All Access team, you guys, day in and day out. Some days I'm a little rough, of course, because I want to do record-breaking numbers. So I'm a little rough on you guys. But this time around, I think that we gave them a lot of excitement. It's still more to come, because we still got 2 more shows. All the sponsors. I know it's so many different sponsors. I know Corona. Who else we got? O'Reilly. And I want to take my hat off to Golden Boy Promotions, the Golden Boy staff. I've been doing business with you guys since, I believe, 2007. I'm still sharp, so I believe 2007. And, I know I'm knocking at the door. I know I'm almost 40, but I'm still going strong. I still feel good, and I want to go out there and perform and look well and give you guys what you want to see. The first fight was very, very interesting, and hopefully this time around, this fight is a lot more exciting. And he's always in tip-top shape, from what I've seen. And do he deserve a rematch? Absolutely. I commend him. I commend his team for stepping up to the plate and making this happen again, because the fans demanded this fight. So I'm a true champion, and a true champion never backs down. So me, myself, I said, let's make it happen again. So, you know, we'll see you guys Saturday. Thanks for the support. If I'm not mistaken, Steven, all access tonight? All access tonight. I think they'll be showing all access here at the hotel. And if you don't come to the hotel, of course, tune in and watch Showtime. I know it's show at 2 different times as far as East Coast and West Coast, but tune in. My team, we here again. And when I go out there and fight, I don't just do it for myself, I do it for my team. I see you guys Saturday.
Todo, compa.